with our business analyst Randy Havre this morning. As soon as we get a quick look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, up 31 points at 13,186. Always a positive sign for investors. And we're reminded again that it is a global economy and things are happening in China. Somewhat interesting.
Yeah, we've been seeing a contraction in China. We also saw that China was trying to stimulate their economy, and it seems like it's working. Including how they want to change their economy. They came out with some real good industrial production numbers. Retail sales were up real nicely, but then we saw the exports. They were expecting them to be up 9%, was only up like 2.6, 2.4, very anemic. But the economy is pumping along. So what it's telling us is their desire to change themselves from an export-driven economy to be more like the U.S., where it's a domestic consumer-driven economy, seems to be kind of turning the corner. You know, they're buying the iPhones and things like that within the country.
That's one part of the global economy, but then we have Europe and what's going on there, and Italy, always intriguing for us.
Incredible what's going on there. You know, Italy is in the same kind of situation, not as bad as Greece, about the same as Spain. They're going through their whole crisis. They brought in this guy, Mario Monti, who's what they call a technocrat, and he was trying to get this thing going, but their industrial production was way down, and he's quitting. Their prime minister is quitting. So who's they talking about is going to come in is the ex-prime minister Berlusconi,
who was in a sex scandal.
Well, he was first convicted of fraud. That's why he's not prime minister anymore, and now he's in the middle of some sex scandal that hasn't been resolved, so it's alleged at this point, but he did get convicted. So the bond market in Italy is in the tank today. Everybody's like, oh my goodness.
How does the International Monetary Fund feel about all this?
Well, as far as our fiscal cliff is concerned, Christine Lagarde has come out, the head of the IMF, and she's saying, hey, U.S., get your act together, because you're 20% of the global economy. If you have a 2% drop in your GDP due to this unresolved issue, it affects China by at least 1%. It affects Europe by at least 1%. So it affects everybody. So she was basically scolding the U.S. this weekend.
Sometimes we should be scolded. All right, we're coming toward the end of the year. Investors are looking at what they hold, what they don't want to keep. And you told me something interesting before we came on the air.
Yeah, it's kind of a flip what's going on. It's a very unique situation. At the end of the year, people look at what kind of losses they've had within their stock portfolios, and they'll sell their losers so they can take those losses and put them against their gains for the ultimate, whatever their tax liability is going to be. It's very common. Tax loss selling is what it's called. And so, but what's happening this year, instead, people are selling their winners to take the gain at the lower tax rate, and they're saving the losers till next year and get rid of them then, so that they can, again, in that higher tax environment, they can get a bigger bang for their buck, in a sense, as far as writing these things off. So it's a complete flip
from what it used to be.
And we're up still, you know. The Dow was up 130 last week.
You Wall Street guys are so far ahead of the rest of us.
Planning.
There it is. All right, Randy, good to see you.
Good to
see you on Friday?
Yep.
Look forward to it. We'll